Hello, and welcome to a special edition of Salisbury Sentinel, a show that spotlights people in our area who are seldom seen or heard. I'm Liam Evans.
And I'm Tessa Good. Today's show presents short documentaries that take a more detailed view on topics relevant to the Delmarva area. Let's get started. The Chesapeake Housing Mission serves those in our area who are in need. I worked with two other Salisbury Sentinel documentarians, Rachel Smith and David Bohennick, to show you how this local organization builds hope in the community, one ramp at a time. Chicken farmer Randy Layfield is his wife's primary caretaker. His wife, Lois Layfield, is currently wheelchair-bound and in need of a ramp. Randy says this is due to her multiple ongoing medical problems.
Suffer just a heart failure and stroke, mini stroke, and end up finding out she's got stage 4 kidney failure.
According to Worcester County, Maryland, wood alone can cost $100 to $200 per linear foot, making a wheelchair ramp out of Randy's price range.
I couldn't afford it. Now I have somebody come in and build it. I couldn't afford it.
Chief Program Officer Laura Schmader says the Chesapeake Housing Mission heard Lois's story and decided it wanted to help make a difference.
We see a lot of spouses, two people living in the home, and they're both older, and one's trying to take care of their spouse, and it's very difficult for them to do this. And boy, a ramp just makes all the difference.
Founder Stephen Hearn says this is one of the reasons why the Chesapeake Housing Mission chose to build ramps.
A ramp is something that we can build in one day, so that when we go to talk to volunteers, potential volunteers, we say, give us one day of your time in order to change the remaining life of somebody.
Now, at no expense, Randy's days of having to carry Lois are over. Hearn says the Chesapeake Housing Mission was founded in 2009 by a mission group called Appalachian Service Project. Today, youth and adults from local Asbury Service Project teams still gather to build ramps for those in need while spreading God's love along the way. These ramp builds are part of the volunteers' training for their big mission trip to Appalachia in the summer, which is why all volunteers are required to sign in. Once the adult volunteers arrive, they begin unloading wood and other supplies from the trailer. As soon as all volunteers are present, the build starts off with a prayer before going over blueprints. Project manager Dale Cropper shares the layout with the team, and then it's off to work. While one team works on drilling holes for the post, the other works on building the framing. Volunteers use a gas-powered auger to make the initial hole and use post-hole diggers to clear out the remainder of the dirt. After, volunteers put the posts in and make sure they are all level. Volunteers then collect bags of concrete and fill the holes. Once the holes are filled, volunteers walk around them all to pack down the dirt and seal the concrete into place. To create the frame, volunteers measure out boards and drill them together. They carefully measure each piece of wood to make sure they all match the correct measurements. The last step of framing is to create an X shape with two pieces of wood across the frame to ensure it is supported. Finally, everyone comes together to carefully pick up the frame and secure it to the ramp. While the crew works on installing the frame, project manager Dale Cropper saws the wood pieces for the next step of the project. Cropper is in charge of communicating and planning with the Chesapeake Housing Mission. He says he is happy to put his skills to use to help those in need.
Again, it's rewarding to use some of the skills and training that I've had to make a difference and help them out with accessibility and safety.
After all the framing is done, one set of volunteers starts to install the boards for the ramp. Each board is carefully laid down, measured precisely, and drilled into place. Once all the boards are on the ramp, the other team works on installing the railing and pickets. According to ADA compliance, Ramps in Worcester County that have drop-offs must have pickets or projecting surfaces that prevent people from slipping off the ramp. Notably, the Asbury Service Project team teaches the youth about the construction guidelines and helps to provide hands-on experience and encouragement.
This is why volunteer Rachel Gillen says she decided to come back as an adult. As a professional welder, Gillen says she finds fulfillment in using her skills to give back.
I think it's really important that we step alongside people with special needs and carry that burden with them or try to make their lives easier. So seeing the joy that they have is very fulfilling.
The volunteer team working on Lois's ramp is composed of around 18 volunteers, all determined to make a difference. According to Chesapeake Housing Mission, because of these volunteers, Chesapeake Housing Mission has been able to build more than 1,000 ramps for those in need. One of those volunteers is Alec Anderson, who has been involved in the Asbury Service Project since he was in kindergarten.
Try and preach as much as I can that it's our duty as able-bodied Christians to help other people as much as we can, in my opinion. So it gives me a sense of joy knowing that I'm making a difference in someone else's life.
While the team worked on finishing up the final pieces of the ramp, Randy watched as his new life unfolded in front of him. Within a few hours, the ramp was officially complete, and it was time for Lois's first ride. Volunteers cheered her on as Randy wheeled her down the ramp.
That make life a little easier?
Oh, yeah. I love it. Heck, I use you.
At the end of each build, clients are presented with a Bible signed by all the volunteers. Randy says the ramp means more to him than words can express.
It means the world to me.
Yeah, you don't have to carry me down the steps.
Yeah, it means the world.
It is because of the Chesapeake Housing Mission and Asbury Service Project that both Lois and Randy have a newfound freedom.
It was wonderful.
It was wonderful.
For the crew, it's just another project. But for Lois and Randy, it's their fairy tale ending.
Shortly, we'll give you an inside look at the Salisbury Zoo's new exhibit.
But right now, we recognize Salisbury University's 100th anniversary by celebrating an influential person in the university's history in this Centennial Minute. Stay with us.
Celebrating 100 years of sporting success, this is Annie Elburn with the Salisbury University Centennial Minute. Karen Weaver, a star athlete and coach, changed the sports atmosphere of Salisbury University. Under her leadership, Weaver coached the SU women's field hockey team to the university's first ever NCAA national championship in 1986. Weaver received her bachelor's degree in physical education and biological sciences at Lock Haven University in 1980. At Lock Haven, she played field hockey and developed her coaching skills. She came to Salisbury University in 1982, taught physical education, and coached both women's field hockey and women's lacrosse teams. In the Women's Field Hockey Championship season, Weaver's team capped off a 21-0 undefeated season. Today, Weaver is still heavily involved with higher education and college athletics at Penn GSE at the University of Pennsylvania. This has been a Salisbury University Centennial Minute.
Exciting plans are underway at the Salisbury Zoo as it prepares to unveil a new Andean bear exhibit. Salisbury Sentinel's documentarians Paige Parsons, Cole Sims, Corey Holder, and myself take a closer look at the project.
Deep in the cloud forests of South America roams a rare and elusive creature, the Andean bear, or speckled bear. This remarkable species is the focus of a groundbreaking conservation effort at the Salisbury Zoo. The Salisbury Zoo first opened in 1954. Today, it operates as a free admission zoo that is currently working on opening a new Andean bear exhibit. Chuck Eichholz shares what the new exhibit will be like.
Oh my gosh. So one of the very first things as you walk into the exhibit is a 2-story visitor center. So the Andean bears are arboreal creatures, so they like hanging out in trees. So giving that 2-level view of the Andean bears is a wonderful experience for the guests.
For years, the Salisbury Zoo has been home to Andean bears like Chaska, Pinocchio, and their cubs, Inti and Rainy. But as the zoo celebrates its 70th anniversary, it recognizes the need for a more expansive and naturalistic habitat.
I think it's a great thing that the bears are going to get more space and have more room to just play around and hang out. I've seen the bears' old exhibits, so to just have an upgrade and just for them to be more comfortable it's very nice.
The Salisbury Zoo recently said goodbye to Chaska, an Andean bear that came to the Salisbury Zoo in 2013. Now, at 15 years old, it is no longer healthy for Chaska to continue breeding under the Andean bear species survival plan.
So right now we have, I forget how many square feet, less than 2,000 square feet of space for the bears, which is by far way too under what we need to have the requirements. The new exhibit will actually take up 1/8 of the zoo, probably 4 times the amount of size that is required by USDA or AZA.
The new 14,000 square foot exhibit will feature climbing structures, hammocks, pools, and waterfalls, replicating the Andean bear's natural habitat in Ecuador. A climate-controlled main building will house 6 dens and keeper facilities.
Well, I'm just excited for seeing new animals. It's always cool to just see a new species. I hear it's going to be very big, so it'll be cool to just have a big open area to observe and just, as always, connect with nature.
Andean bears play a vital role in their ecosystem as seed dispersers. However, they face threats from habitat loss and human-wildlife conflict. The Salisbury Zoo is committed to supporting the Andean bear species survival plan, contributing to global conservation efforts.
What we want to do is we are one of the best Andean bear breeding facilities in the country, if not the world. And so our dedication to the Andean bears on conservation, AZA, is ultimately it was the best thing that what we want to do.
Chaska's move will make way for the construction of the zoo's new Andean bear exhibit that will occupy the current Andean bear and former North American otter exhibit. As part of the conservation program, Raimi and Inti have been relocated to other zoos to promote genetic diversity. Raimi is set to move to the zoo in Zurich, Switzerland, while Inti has joined the Racine Zoo in Wisconsin.
Within the visitor center itself, it's going to have multiple video cameras within it. So if we do have a cub being born or there will be video monitors in a maternity den. So the public will actually be able to be part of their process of, raising the Andean bears. They get to be part of that world with us.
The Salisbury Zoo new Andean bear exhibit is more than just a habitat. It's a commitment to preserving a species and educating the public about the importance of conservation. Visitors can now get an up-close look at these elusive animals in a space designed to mirror their natural habitat. With conservation and education at the heart of the exhibit, the Salisbury Zoo hopes to inspire a new generation to protect this vulnerable species, one curious glance at a time.
When we return, we'll tell you about a nationally recognized local garden with a new name.
But first, we remember head football coach Sherman Wood in this Salisbury University Centennial Minute. Stay with us.
Celebrating 100 years of athletic success. This is Ben Gelati with the Salisbury University Centennial Minute. Sherman Wood was an alum of Salisbury University and its head football coach. Wood attended SU from 1980 to 1983, where he majored in counseling psychology and was an outstanding defensive back for the Seagulls. Wood was a team captain of the 1983 team that earned SU's first NCAA tournament berth, reaching the national semifinals. Wood graduated from SU in 1984. He received his Master of Arts degree in counseling psychology from Bowie State University in 1989. Wood began his coaching career as an assistant under Salisbury University head coach Mike McGlinchey in 1984 and became head coach in 1999. Wood is the program's all-time winningest football coach, has 18 consecutive trips to the postseason, including 10 NCAA championship appearances. This has been a Salisbury University Centennial Minute.
Salisbury University is known for its academics, but it's also a popular spot for community residents to stroll its grounds. Salisbury Centennial's team of documentarians Annie Elburn, Kevin Holder, and Seamus Johnson reminds us that the campus is both a beautiful garden and an outdoor learning laboratory.
Salisbury University is known for many things: its academic successes, sports achievements, or maybe the fact that it is the only university in the country to have a seagull as their mascot. One fact about the campus many might not know is that it is a nationally recognized arboretum. An arboretum is defined as a botanical garden devoted to trees. University horticulturalist William Lowry says there are many other plants as well as trees that entail the accreditation.
We do try to plant a lot of different stuff, a lot of plants that will do well in this part of the country and our part of, where we are in Maryland on the Eastern Shore and all that. But we have a really large diversity of trees and shrubs and perennials, and we're always looking to add more stuff to that diversity.
According to ArbNet, the one on SU's campus is one of only 21 accredited arboretums in the state of Maryland. Both the university and the arboretum serve as a living laboratory for academic programs, including over 2,000 plant species and over 3,000 trees that offer rich study material. These plants come from all backgrounds as well, including indigenous plants as well as ones you wouldn't normally see on the Eastern Shore.
We also have collections of witch hazels, we have collections of crepe myrtles, Japanese maple, so we're trying to move into that vein, put in a lot of different plant collections all over campus.
Benefits for luscious greenery such as these are seen both among SU students and the community. Research from the National Institute of Health show that arboretums and green spaces on college campuses improve mental health and reduce stress while also creating peaceful, inviting areas for students. Salisbury students like Bella Shades say she sees the correlation between these studies and her own experience at the university.
I think so. I mean, especially as it's getting nicer and warmer outside. I love studying and doing work outside. It definitely motivates me to do my work and appreciate everything that our campus has to offer, especially with all of the flowers and everything.
With Salisbury University being a campus that is also open to the wider community, the span of education and access to the Arboretum affects residents, such as Matt Drew, who say that it is nice to have the ability to take access of the Arboretum.
There's a huge variety of trees. Some trees, I only see here at the university. And then also, I think the education piece of all the placards that are there I'm not a tree person at all, I'm a stupid engineer. And I use those placards all the time. It's like, what is that tree? Oh, I just have to read and I know.
Other areas in the community, such as Salisbury City Park and Pemberton Historical Park, offer green spaces. But Drew says the variety of the Arboretum and maintenance make this a pioneer for what Salisbury should do for the future of green spaces.
Like the trees and the landscaping and all the green space that's here at the university, I think are, I'll say almost like a model for what I would like to see more places have happen within Salisbury, the town proper.
Salisbury University is recognized as one of only 8 university arboretums worldwide with Level 3 accreditation, serving since 1988. It has also been named one of the 50 most amazing university arboretums according to Best Colleges Online. Today, the Arboretum is open to the public with a new name beginning in May 2025, the Glenda Catham Clark Arboretum. The university continues to provide access to education about the Arboretum and conservation both to students and the public.
The campus is beautiful. It gives a good place for the students to enjoy being college students. It's also a good resource for the community and for the state too. When students first come to look at the university, the first thing they see are the grounds. So we hope it's also a money generating operation for the university.
We hope you enjoyed this segment of Salisbury Sentinel. Thank you for joining us. I'm Liam Evans.
And I'm Tessa Good. This is our final show of the semester. Have a pleasant summer.